All right, guys, welcome back to the shack. Today we're going to be going over a little small laser that some of you might be interested in. Now, guys, as I've said time and time again, I'm only one person. This is my opinion of these machines. I do have experience with a lot of lasers, and I try to look at these machines and figure out what they would be good at and who would be interested in the machine. The machine that we're going to be talking about today comes to you from a company that is established in the market, and that's Algolaser. I've had a couple of Algolaser machines, the MK and the MK2. They've done a really good job. They're known for being really fast machines with really good detail as far as engraving. I've also, over the past couple of years, found that whatever they do when they make their machines, they do a really good job on, say, bamboo and some other materials that can be a bit irritating. But this machine is small, compact, really simple. They took a lot of simple designs and didn't try to overdo it with the technology, but this is kind of a machine that you could literally go do laser engraving in a park at a picnic. I mean, it's very small, compact, and easily transported. So if you're interested in a little small machine like this for, say, $300, stick around and we're gonna go over it. All right, guys, so this is the little guy we're going to be talking about today. And as I've said, this machine is not going to be for everybody, guys. There are folks out there, however, that live in an apartment or like to travel and want to go places and take their laser with them. Maybe you're somebody that wants to do craft events, but you want an enclosed laser that you can operate, that you can understand to take with you. This little guy, it's going to be kind of in that realm of possibility. So that's kind of where I think this machine falls. Either you're somebody just gotten into lasers and you want something fairly simple to operate with versatility as well as this basic. You don't want anything too fancy, not a whole lot of bells and whistles to be messing around with. So first of all, the machine, like I said, is made by Algolaser. Algolaser is an established company that's been around for a few years now. They've made several machines that I would consider to be good machines and that have, you know, withstood the test of time and are still recognized as being good machines. So secondly, this machine comes in 3 separate wattage outputs. It comes with a 3 watt, a 5 watt, or a 10. So the 3 watt, guys, is definitely going to be nothing but engraving. The 5 watt, you could do some thin cutting as well as engraving. And then, of course, the 10 is going to be better suited for cutting, but you're going to get a little bit bigger dot size. Now, for this discussion, if you want to pull up the website and look as we discuss it, I'll drop a link down below. Go click on that link and you can see what I'm talking about as far as the machine. They've also got the machine listed currently in coming in 2 colors. Of course, you got the red, and they also have a black that's available as well. I felt like red was Algolaser's color, so when they asked me about sending this one, I told them to send it to me in the red, of course. Now, currently, at this time, there is a sale on Algolaser's website. They're having an anniversary sale. So if this is something that, you know, tempted you, it might be an opportunity to get them a little cheaper than they were a few weeks ago. But today is July the 20th of 2025. So if you're watching this video later, you may have already missed the sale. But the one thing that I will say about the machine, I've went through it without disassembling it completely. I went through it, I looked at the mechanics of it, and everything looks really, really nice. The way they've got the system set up, it has a metallic metal substructure underneath all the plastic body parts and stuff like that. Makes it a little more rigid than some of the other machines that I've dealt with in the past. And I've been having some really, really good luck with some of the engraving as far as the quality. Haven't had any hang-ups with the software or so forth. Now, as well as the output capabilities of the machine with the 3, 5, or 10 watt module, you also have versatility with the software when you get the machine. On the top here, and I'll have a little bit better video of this in a minute. On the top here, you have this display. This display is also a touch screen, and it comes with a little stylus. So you can use Algolaser's software that's built into the machine to operate it, and you don't have to have a computer, you don't have to have a phone, you don't have to have anything. It is also Wi-Fi compatible. I've got it connected to the Wi-Fi here in the shop currently. All I'm using that for is for updates and whatnot, because I'm not using their desktop software. But if you use their desktop software or their, the mobile apps or whatever, you could also use it through Wi-Fi as well, because Wi-Fi works really great. It did have a firmware update that it downloaded through there and installed. So that is one functionality that I like about it, because you're not having to learn how to flash the cards in this thing by saving it to a micro SD card. And there's a process to some machines to updating the firmware. So I like this, update over Wi-Fi approach a lot better. But I prefer Lightburn, so that's what my testing has been done, is in Lightburn, and that was one of the stipulations when they sent me the machine. I don't like learning every software on the market, so I just stick with Lightburn and run the machine and did all my testing. So let's get over to the computer. I'm just going to show you some video and go through some stuff that I did in testing the machine, and then after that we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, so as you can see, I'm using Lightburn for my testing. This is when I was doing the test on the bamboo, and as you can see, I've got it sitting on top of the bamboo cutting board and just testing it as far as the engrave goes. You'll notice here that the framing and everything works with the lid open, which is kind of a thing that some machines don't allow. But I've got the laser dot firing, and it's framing with the door open. Now, I will tell you that if you try to send the job, and you try to actually engrave with the door open, you can see right there, it's not going to do it. But once you secure the door and get that thing shut, then the machine will sense that you've closed the door, and it'll begin the operation. So as far as safety standpoint goes, I think that's really a good plus. Some of the machines irritate me because you can't frame with the door open because of the safety switch, but Algo has worked around that, and so they've incorporated it where you can still frame using the blue dot, but yet you can't engrave full power until you shut the door. So I think that was a really good innovation that I was glad to see, and I don't know if that's a result of their Algolaser OS that they've installed on the machine or what. But that's one of the things that really bugs me with some other machines, is you can't see your framing dot with the door shut. So at least they fixed that. But let's look at some of the other things that I've noticed about this machine that I like. All right, so here's that safety switch again, and as you can see, it works. Pauses the machine, lower it back down, machine starts back up. So that's really handy. Here is the interface for the offline controller function with their Algo OS built in. It's pretty handy. Didn't play around a whole lot with that, but it does make updates easier. There you can see that's the gantry basically. Those linear rods and everything, that stepper, that's about all there is to it. It's very minimalist. That little knob you see, that's your Z focus adjustment there. That is attached to basically a screw that lowers and raises the module, and in doing so you can get maybe 5 inches or so of height underneath the machine. So if you're wanting to do tumblers or something like that, they do have an optional rotary as well. But for anything bigger than that, you're gonna have to take this floor right here out. It is a reversible floor. You've got a blade bed on one side for cutting, which I don't think this particular one's that great for cutting. Or you can flip that thing around on the other side, and you've got like this little area off grid pattern that you can use in combination with your design software. It seems to work pretty well. But there's 4 screws that holds that in, but you can also remove it if you need to. And with this machine as well, like I said, you can raise it up. This is as high as it will go. And the way that you do that is in the back of the machine right here. You can see those 4 thumb screws. You remove those 4 thumb screws, and it can slide up and down among all those little holes. So you can kind of have some adjustment when it comes to that. And another benefit to this design, small things or big things alike, you can even set it on top of them and engrave them if you need to. Like with this tray, if you wanted to put a design in the middle of it, or this cutting board. Like I said, you just set it up on top of there, do your engraving, and then bam, you're done. So let's wrap things up, guys. Let's talk about what this thing did during my testing. All right, guys, like I said, through the testing that I've done with the machine, it's performed really well. I will say that with most of the materials that you're going to typically want to do with a blue diode laser, it's done exceptionally well. There is a bit of a learning curve. If you're used to a bigger machine, like a 40 watt, 20 watt, whatever, you are going to have to raise your LPI with this little guy because the dot is significantly smaller. And if you don't, you will see some area where there's not overlap in the design. So I've been running most of the stuff with this little guy at 300 LPI in Lightburn. I've been getting some really good results. But if you'll notice, with this test that I did here, I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a little bit of area in between the lines as it went back and forth that was left because I ran this at 0.2 millimeters as far as the line interval. Now, with the other one, I ran this guy here at 300 LPI and I got a much better, much cleaner result. So LPI is going to be one of those things that you're going to want to run this machine a little higher than your average, like 124 with a lot of the bigger dotted machines. With the dot size on this one, it needs to be crunk on up there. Now, one thing that I did have to do to this machine, and I'm gonna think that maybe I got an anomaly in my machine, and maybe this is not going to be an ongoing problem. If it is, I'm sure Algolaser will address it. Is I had a bit of an issue, and it's going to be hard for you to see this. I had a bit of an issue with the scan offset settings inside the machine. And what that was is basically when the module goes back and forth, it was firing a little early and cutting off a little late, whichever way you want to look at it. But the right to left and the left to right engraves, they're not quite lined up. So you end up getting a little bit of a overlap on that defined edge. It's not that noticeable unless you spread your line interval out enough to where you can see that they're not connecting. But I had a little bit of a blurry edge around the engraves, and sure enough, that's what the problem was. So I did a few tests, went through the process of adjusting the scan offset, and bam, it fixed it. So if you do have this machine, or for any other machine for that matter, and you have that to where real thin text almost looks like it's double stamping, a lot of times that's going to be your scan offset, and there's a really quick, easy way to adjust that, and you can do it right in Lightburn. So if you have that problem. But hopefully this was an anomaly and it won't be something that you'll see in all of the machines. Now, one thing that I will tell you too, this machine is doing a really good job. I like playing with these machines that have the real tight, tiny dot size. I like playing with images. And so I took a family photo, and this is a black anodized card. This is one of the thicker ones. This is probably like the half mil thick ones. But I engraved it onto this card here using an image that I had processed previously. So I wound up setting it, and you can see here, I run at 200 millimeters a second at 100% power, 318 on the DPI, which is, like I said, a little bit above 300. And I set it to run Stucky on that engrave, and it done really well. So I kept playing around a little more and just repeating that same engrave on this card here. I adjusted the powers just a little bit and got a little nicer contrast. And then, of course, I broke out the old Venom test file that I have acquired. And this is basically like a desktop image that I've shrank down, and I use it for these black anodized cards because it looks so cool, and I'm a bit of a fan when it comes to Venom. So there you go on that. So anodized material, these smaller things like this, they're going to take a little while, but man, they're really fun when you have a machine that has a really fine dot. I did a couple of the usual suspects as well. I did some black acrylic, had really good results on that. With the black acrylic, you're going to get more of a frosting look than you are the turning it white. To turn this white, a lot of times you're going to need to get into the IR or the UV laser. So for a blue laser, I was pretty pleased with the way that turned out. With some additional testing and a lot more time, I could probably come up with something a little better, but I thought that was a pretty good result from what I would tend to expect from black acrylic. Also with wood, of course, wood is going to do really good with the blue lasers. Even in the 5-watt capacity here, you're still going to be able to do some nice engraving. Now, the power and speed that you're going to have to run like, full power, and you're going to have to run at like 150 millimeters a second or less with this smaller wattage module. That's one of the added benefits that you would get if you got the 10 watt, or if you're using another machine that has, you know, excessive wattage output. You can go a lot faster. You do the same things with the smaller watt output, but you can do them quicker with a more powerful laser because it marks at faster speeds. So that's one downside to the 5 watt. But if you've got a little small machine like this and this is what you're using, you know, it's not that critical because you're going to be doing small things. So it doesn't have to go really fast because the designs are smaller. This machine can be used to put your maker's mark on boards and objects that are larger than it is. You can also set it on top of cutting boards, charcuterie boards, whatever you want to use it for. You can engrave through the bottom without being able to put the whatever it is inside the machine, which is pretty handy. You've just got 4 screws that you've got to take out of the bottom plate, remove that plate, and you can engrave any item with a burn up to the size of the work area, you know, by simply having it sitting on top of it. So I took that and I did so with some bamboo, and I got some really good results with the bamboo. Bamboo is one of those materials that everybody calls as a wood. It's not really a wood, it's a grass. And bamboo is notorious for not engraving well, not getting darker colors. Now, a lot of times the color will be, you know, you'll have dark and light, you know, lines across there. You can't stop that. That is bamboo. But I will say the Algolaser's line of machines have always done really good for me on getting color. And there's an Algolaser logo that I did on this bamboo with the Pixie. And I did that, as you saw, with the machine sitting on top of it. But that's it, guys. Like I said, very simple, very small machine. The price tag is not terrible, especially assuming the fact that you have a controller, an offline controller basically, in the top of the machine, capable of doing a lot of things. Like I said, I haven't taken the time to play with the software and go through and look at all the possibilities of what you can do with it, but I know it does text, you can do photos, you can do a lot of different designs just straight off of the machine without having to have a computer or anything to operate it. So that's pretty neat. Light burn compatibility, 100% compatible, no issues found. So that's my review. I think it would be a great little machine for somebody wanting to get into it but not wanting to spend a whole lot of money, or somebody that doesn't have a whole lot of space to keep their equipment and want something fairly contained. The only thing that I would caution you on is, even though it's small, it still puts out smoke. This little connection right here, it connects and it has this tube. Now they sell smoke purifiers, as well as there's a bunch of other companies that do as well, but you will still need to vent it. So keep in mind that. I mean, that's the one thing, if you go somewhere, you've still got to contend with the smoke, and it vents it, but that's about all you got is being vented. So there you go, guys. A small machine for people on a small budget, whether you're in a confined space as far as your work area or whatever, or if all you need is that small work area to engrave your logo on a piece of material, or just want to customize a few pieces, putting a little small logo in the corner somewhere. The machine's more than capable of doing that. Like I said, it comes from a reputable company, with it being Algolaser, and it's highly portable. You can literally put it on a shelf when you're not using it, and it's out of the way. So there are some of the pros and cons and the case uses for the machine. Of course, also, if you're wanting to go do events, as long as you can come up with a way to manage the exhaust from the machine, I think this would be a suitable machine to use to do certain items. You would want to come up with some jigs, or at least get really good at framing to make sure that you could turn them out quickly. But I think that is definitely an attainable goal if you were to get this machine. So there you go. That's it for today, guys. If you want to, like I said, if you haven't already and you want to go look at the machine, click the links down below and go check it out on Algo's site. And like I said, today, July the 20th, they currently have a sale going. So, you know, if you catch that sale, you can save yourself a little money if this is something you're interested in. But if not, stay tuned. I'll have more machines to show you guys and let you know what I think about them. So until next time, be safe and have a good day.